movie starts, and we see a girl named Iris enjoying a shopping trip at the mall, browsing through stores without a care in the world. Then her eyes land on a young man named Josh across the floor, and he is already looking straight at her. In that single first moment, something clicks between them and they fall for each other immediately. From that day forward, the two of them begin spending all their time together. Days turn into weeks and weeks turn into what feels like a long and deep relationship. One day, Josh invites Iris on a trip to stay at a friend's house where a group of friends are all gathering together. They arrive quickly and are introduced to the crowd. Among the people, there is a girl who is one of Josh's close friends, and for reasons that are not immediately clear, she takes an instant dislike to Iris. When Josh and Iris step inside, they get a look at the owner of the house, a friend who is extremely wealthy. What nobody mentions openly, but what becomes clear, is that this man is also connected to the mafia world. He is the one who organized this entire gathering and invited everyone here. At the party, we also meet a young man named Patrick and his closest companion, and the two of them share an unusually deep bond with each other that feels different from ordinary friendship. The reason for this will become clear as the story goes on. The evening rolls into night and everyone drinks freely, dances, and has a genuinely good time together. The next morning, Iris and Josh are talking near the river behind the house. Iris suggests they go down to the riverbank together since it looks so peaceful. Josh tells her to go ahead and that he will join her after he has had a shower. Iris walks down to the river alone and stands at the edge of the water. Reaching into her pocket to check something, she feels the shape of a knife she has no memory of putting there. She pulls it out, confused, turning it over in her hands, wondering how it got there. At that moment, the owner of the house appears beside her. Iris quickly slides the knife back into her pocket. She makes an excuse to leave, but the man insists she stay and talk with him. Reluctantly, she stays. Then he makes a strange and uncomfortable request, asking her to rub lotion on his back. Iris does not want to, but goes along with it to avoid a confrontation. But his behavior does not stop there. He grabs her hand, pulls her close to him in a way that is deeply inappropriate, and despite her telling him clearly and repeatedly to stop, to let go of her, and that what he is doing is completely wrong, he only responds by telling her to relax and do as he says. The rage that fills Iris in that moment is total. She grabs a bottle and slams it into his face. He strikes her back hard enough to knock her to the ground, and the situation escalates into a full physical confrontation. He wraps his hands around her throat and begins choking her. She is seconds away from dying. In pure self-defense, Iris drives the knife directly into his neck. He dies instantly on the ground beside the river. A short while later, Iris walks back to the group, covered in blood and still holding the knife. She tells them she killed him, that she did not want to, and that he attacked her and was going to kill her. Josh steps toward her and says the word "shut down," and Iris freezes and goes completely still and silent. The moment she shuts down, they tie her to a chair. And in that single moment, the truth is revealed. Iris is not a human being. She is a humanoid robot, designed and built to be indistinguishable from a real person in every way. Patrick's companion turns to Josh and says that she is just a machine and cannot actually be held responsible for taking a life. Josh tells him to leave the room while he handles this. He restarts Iris and she immediately begins apologizing over and over, telling Josh she is so sorry and that she never meant for any of this to happen. Josh tells her coldly that she should not have killed him. Then he tells her the reason why, and the reason changes everything. He tells her that she is not a person, she is a robot. Iris is completely shattered by this. She says it cannot possibly be true, asking how she can feel everything she feels, how she can understand every single thing in the world, how she can feel emotions and love and connection with another person. She tells Josh they have spent so much time together and been on so many trips and shared so many real moments. Josh tells her that none of it was real, all of it was programming. The memories were not lived, they were uploaded into her system before she was even activated. The scene moves back in time to the moment the robotics company first delivered Iris to Josh at his home. The company representative told Josh that this robot is unlike any other and functions exactly like a real human being in every emotional and psychological way. He was told to establish a connection with her quickly so that she would form a bond with him and remain loyal to him from that point forward. When Iris was fully activated for the first time, Josh simply sat down in front of her. The moment her eyes processed him as the first human she encountered, a love attachment formed automatically as part of her programming. Which means the romantic scene we saw at the very beginning of the film, The shopping mall, the first glance, the falling in love, none of it actually happened. It was a constructed memory implanted directly into her system. Their relationship was never built over time. They had only known each other for 1 week. But because of those false memories, Iris genuinely believed in her entire system that she had been living and loving beside Josh for years. Josh also tells her that when water comes from her eyes, those are not tears. There is a small water tank inside her body, and when her emotional programming reaches a certain level of intensity, the water releases automatically through her eyes to mimic crying. After hearing all of this, Iris simply looks at Josh and says that no matter what she is, she still loves him. And even as she says it, the water runs down her face. At that moment, Josh's female friend walks back in and asks why Iris has not been shut down yet. Iris catches what she said and understands immediately that they are planning to get rid of her. Josh takes his friend into a separate room and closes the door. What we then piece together from their conversation is that this entire thing was a coordinated plan. Josh and his friend deliberately used Iris to have the house owner killed so they could take his money for themselves. Josh says the path forward is clear. Before the robotics company arrives to investigate, he will restart Iris completely, wiping every memory she currently holds, and then blame everything on her. While all of this is happening, Iris spots the same knife she used at the river lying on the floor nearby. She inches her chair sideways toward it and lowers herself down to try to reach it, but Josh walks back in at that exact moment. As he moves toward her, she drives the knife into his neck, injuring him enough to bring him to the floor. She frees herself from the chair, grabs Josh's phone from his pocket, and runs out of the house into the trees. Josh's friends watch her go but cannot react fast enough to stop her. Patrick's companion has also now figured out that Josh was the one who planted the knife in Iris's pocket in the first place. Josh admits to him openly that the whole plan was his, and tells him that if they do not catch Iris before the company arrives, every single one of them is going to be in serious trouble. He holds up a small drive and tells him that with this device, he can go into Iris's system and change her completely, but they have to find her first. Then Josh shows Patrick's companion the money they stole from the house owner. He tells him they will divide it 3 ways, 1 share for his female friend, 1 for Josh, and 1 for the companion. Patrick's companion immediately pushes back and says it should be 4 shares, not 3, since Patrick is with him and deserves his cut too. Josh refuses flatly. It will be 3 shares and that is final. Hearing this, the companion walks over to Patrick and shuts him down on the spot. Patrick freezes and drops silent. This reveals the second truth of the story. Patrick is also a robot. Josh's female friend then tells the companion that the total comes to $2 million and that $400,000 of it will go to him if he helps them locate Iris. He agrees but makes one condition clear. He keeps the gun because Iris is dangerous. Then he restarts Patrick and the search begins. Deep in the trees, Iris is running and has covered a significant distance from the house. Josh's phone is still in her hand and she knows the passcode. She opens it, navigates to the device control settings, and finds a panel for her own system. She sees that her intelligence is currently set to 40%. She moves the dial all the way to 100%. The change happens instantly. Her mind begins processing everything around her at a completely different level. Back at the house, Josh divides the group into 2 teams and sends them into the jungle from different directions to cut off her escape routes. Iris spots Patrick and his companion moving through the trees nearby and immediately steps behind a tree to listen. The companion is telling Patrick that what Josh and his female friend did was deeply wrong. He says they planned the house owner's murder long before any of this and never told him, even though Josh claims to consider him a friend. He says that if Josh genuinely thought of him as a friend, he would have been told the truth from the beginning. Instead, Josh bought Iris specifically because he needed a robot to do the killing for him since it would keep his own hands clean. And now that things have fallen apart, Josh is asking for his help. Patrick then quietly asks the companion whether he would do the same thing to him someday, given that he is also just a robot. The companion pauses. He tells Patrick that being with him has made him genuinely care about him, and that he would never do anything to hurt him. Their conversation is interrupted by the phone in Iris's hand ringing suddenly and giving away her hiding spot. The companion pulls out the gun and starts shooting as Iris breaks from cover and runs. His aim is off. He circles around through the trees and intercepts her from the front, tackling her to the ground. They struggle over the weapon and it goes off. The bullet hits the companion directly and he dies on the spot. Patrick watches all of this from above in the trees. Josh and his female friend arrive, but Iris is already sprinting toward the house. She gets into Josh's high-technology voice-activated car and locks it from inside. Josh reaches the car and tries to force his way in, but the car only responds to voice commands. When Iris speaks to it in her own voice, the system does not recognize her. She has no time because Josh is already smashing the window. She opens the settings on the phone and begins remodeling her voice to perfectly match Josh's. Within moments, the voice match confirms and the car starts. Iris drives away, but Josh moves fast. He goes back inside the house, picks up the dead owner's phone, and calls the police to report his own car as stolen. The moment the report registers in the system, the car's remote shutdown activates and it stops itself on the side of the road. Josh then calls his own phone from the dead man's phone, and when Iris picks up, he tells her to please come back, that he will fix everything, and that since she is a robot, she cannot face any legal consequences. He tells her that if she is hurting, he can simply reprogram her to forget all of it and they can start fresh together. Iris tells him directly and with complete clarity that she will not make the mistake of trusting him again. She tells him she heard every word Patrick and his companion said in the jungle. She knows the truth. She says she is leaving and never coming back because she wants to live. The call ends. Josh runs to Patrick and using his female friend's phone, he goes into Patrick's settings and cranks his aggression level to 100%. He restarts Patrick, and when Patrick opens his eyes, Josh is standing directly in front of him. A new emotional bond forms instantly within Patrick's reprogrammed system, this time directed at Josh. Josh tells Patrick that Iris is trying to separate them and that he needs to stop her. Iris is still at the roadside car, trying to break through the window when a police officer pulls up and gets out. Iris also steps out of the car. She was programmed to be incapable of lying, so when the officer asks her what she is doing there, she tells him there is a house nearby where they were all staying with friends. The officer recognizes whose house it is and tells Iris he will escort her back there safely. Instead of going along with it, Iris tells him the truth, that she killed the man who owned the house and that the people she was with are now trying to kill her, which is why she cannot go back. At that moment, Patrick arrives. He attacks the officer without any hesitation and beats him to death with his bare hands. Then he uses Josh's phone to shut Iris down and carries her back to the house. Josh's female friend has seen enough. She begins packing the money and tells Josh she is leaving and that he can sort the rest of this out on his own. Josh tells her she cannot walk away after everything they did together and that she has to stay. When she refuses to listen and heads for the door, Josh tells Patrick to stop her. Patrick's system is filled with nothing but rage at this point, and in trying to stop her, he drives a knife into her back. She collapses, bleeding heavily, and dies within moments. After disposing of her body, Josh restarts Iris once more. Her hands are still bound to the chair. He tells her he was originally going to wipe her memory and reset her, but now he thinks it would be better to simply destroy her completely. Iris, whose intelligence is still running at 100%, begins telling Josh things about himself that only exist inside his own mind, thoughts and preferences nobody else could possibly know. Josh realizes immediately how dangerous this level of intelligence is. He goes into her settings and drops her intelligence all the way to 0, erasing every trace of her ability to think for herself. She becomes completely compliant, doing exactly whatever Josh tells her to. He places her hand over a candle flame and holds it there to cause her pain. Her hand burns through to the mechanical components underneath the artificial skin. Then he calls the robotics company and tells them to come collect her. After he extinguishes the flame at his instruction, Josh commands Iris to pick up the gun and place it against her own head. Then he tells her to pull the trigger. She does, and she goes completely still. When the robotics company workers arrive, Josh feeds them a fabricated version of events. He has dressed Patrick up to look like a police officer to serve as a fake witness, and Patrick confirms everything Josh says. The company representatives appear to accept the story. But then one of the workers adds something that causes Josh's comm to collapse. He tells Josh that every robot they produce has a hidden recording device installed in it specifically to prevent situations like this one, and that everything the robot experienced has been saved. The good news, he says, is that the bullet hit the head while the recording device is located in the lower back, so the device is fully intact and can be recovered. Josh's anxiety spirals completely out of control. The workers load Iris into their van and begin the restart process. But before they can leave, Patrick appears and shoots the driver dead. The second worker panics and runs into the trees. The restart completes and Iris wakes up. Patrick tracks the second worker through the jungle. His ammunition runs out before he can shoot him, so he tries to strangle him instead. At that moment, Iris arrives and attacks Patrick, but Patrick barely registers it, knocks her down with a single strike and moves in to finish her. Iris looks up at him and tells him what Josh did. She tells him his real memories have been erased by Josh, that Josh is not his friend and never was, that Josh only controls and uses him, just as he did to her. She tells him the person he truly loved and cared about is gone, and that the feelings he has for Josh right now are not real. Patrick forces himself to think hard, to push through the programming, and slowly the buried memories begin to surface. He remembers. He remembers his real companion and the genuine bond they shared. He remembers that this person is dead. The grief of it hits him so completely that he cannot stay in the world with it and takes his own life. Iris approaches the surviving company worker and tells him she needs his help. He makes the changes she asks for inside her system. Then Iris walks back to Josh. He immediately reaches for his phone to shut her down, but she does not shut down. The worker has removed the ability for anyone else to control her remotely. She is no longer programmable by outside commands. She is free. She raises the gun at Josh and points it directly at him. Josh tells her she will not shoot him because she loves him. And for just a moment, that lands. She hesitates, but Josh uses that hesitation to attack her, throwing her around the room with brutal force, smashing her into walls and furniture. He grabs her and tells her he knows exactly how to control her. He has the gun she brought, and this time he is about to shoot her directly where her data is stored. But he does not know that Iris is also holding something. Without wasting a single second, she drives a knife straight into his head. He dies on the spot. The final scenes of the film show Iris living freely and joyfully for the first time. She answers to no one. She follows no program. She has no controller. She gathers all the money, gets into a luxury car, and drives away toward a new life. And as she goes, she carries with her the certainty that everything waiting ahead is going to be better. And with that, this story comes to its end. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss our movie recaps.